Well, Jake and I got on a bird earlier this morning out here on some public land, and he's now went quiet. He hasn't gobbled in the last hour. But throughout the whole morning, the turkey did not move very far. So I want to talk to you all real briefly about how we set up and deal with toms that have gone silent, because it's a common problem. Most of the time in the spring, gobblers will fly down, they'll gobble a little bit on the roost, and then they'll shut up. And they'll actually spend the majority of their time not saying a peep, just strutting around hens. The only time when they gobble actively is first thing in the morning usually, and then occasionally throughout the day whenever they lose track of their hens. See what it does with that. We're often dealing with silent toms like this. Last time the bird gobbled, he was a few hundred yards out there. So what we did is just found this nice little open bottom in front of us where we can see a good little distance. And there's a bunch of turkey sign down in here where they've been in the past. So what we're going to do is just set up here for the next hour or two, making soft calls every 20 to 30 minutes. What I mean by that is we'll just sit here, we'll listen, and then occasionally we'll just make some light yelps on our call and increase the volume on every series just to kind of reach out there a little bit further. I think a lot of times people will call when the turkeys aren't gobbling and they'll be actually too quiet, because a light yelp like that, you do that first just in case a silent tom has slid in behind you or close by within 60-70 yards. You call real light like that so that you don't scare him off, and then you increase the volume when you don't get a response. You notice I'm calling and then I'm listening after that for drumming or for a gobble of some kind. And we're also listening for other turkeys, hens or jakes yelping or something like that, because that gobbler may quit gobbling, but if he's with a group of hens, occasionally you'll hear one of the hens cluck or you'll hear one of the hens yelp, and that will tip you off to their location so that you can continue to maneuver around them. But when we're just waiting on a bird like this to start gobbling or to come in silent, we'll just scratch in the leaves every few minutes and just give those light yelps, just to kind of simulate a turkey that's walking through this bottom looking for other birds. You never know when a turkey is going to cut loose either. I mean, they'll go silent for hours and hours, and then all of a sudden they'll start gobbling out of the blue because they've lost a hen, and you can hit the call and bring them in like they got a hook in their mouth. So main thing is to be in the woods as much as possible, even if the birds are silent. Just get into one of these areas where there's a good amount of sign where you can hear quite a distance, make a few light calls, and be patient, because they could either slide into your setup real quiet or they'll fire off and then you could make a play on them later.